and a very warm welcome to our live undergraduate Q&A session. My name is Amy, Student Recruitment Manager here at the School of Social and Environmental Sustainability. Whether you're thinking about applying or you're already an offer holder, this session today is your chance to hear directly from a current student and ask any questions you have about student life. So we are here to answer any questions you have about interviews, the application process, careers, accommodation, Dumfries campus, so much more. So if you have any questions about studying with us here at the University of Glasgow, please just use the text chat to send them in and we'll answer them live on the session today. So I am so thrilled to be joined today by current student and second year Yayan. Yayan, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you. I wonder if you could just introduce yourself a little bit and tell us a little bit more about you.
Yeah, hi, I'm Yayan. So I'm a second year on the Global Sustainable Development Program, but I've had classes with people from both the other undergraduate programs. I grew up in Thailand, going to an American international school, but have come to Scotland for my university. So yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Well, we have so many questions already, which is fantastic. So thank you to everyone who sent them in. If you have any questions, as I say, please just use the text chat. We are here to answer them today, and hopefully we can get those answers to you and help you out a little bit. So I think we'll just dive in, Yain, with our first question. What do you say? For our first one here, let's see. Brilliant. Can you study and also have a part-time job? This is a great question because I think it also is very individual, I think, in terms of your timetable as well as maybe what your expectations are. I would say fundamentally, yes is the answer. You know, it really depends what it is you're wanting to do. So, for example, a lot of our students work as student ambassadors. So they work here on the campus, super flexible, so they can work it around their studies. A lot of other students work in cafes in the town centre or in bars in the town centre as well. There's supermarkets all around. There's loads of places all around that, people work at. So, Yain, from your perspective, I mean, as a student, what's your kind of feeling on this?
Yeah, I think it's something that's increasingly something that people do. For students who are studying from whether they're UK based, as in they're from the UK, the student finance from the government is meant to be enough to cover your living expenses, but increasingly the margin is quite small, and if students want to be going to festivals in the summer or going to different events, they often like to supplement that with some part-time work, and especially during the first couple of years of study, I'd say that's very doable. Obviously, if you want, it's possible to focus entirely on your studies, but there is definitely room to do some part-time work, and that can be just for the money, or it can be for gaining valuable experience as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good point, and thank you so much. And I mean, particularly something to think about, for example, our primary education students, you will have long blocks of placement over several weeks. So something to think about as well, just to build that into you're thinking about balancing your time, basically. Something to consider that you might have to take maybe periods of time where you aren't working to focus on your placement. Just something to keep in mind as well. If you have any more questions about that, we're more than happy to talk to that a bit more. But great question. Thank you so much. We'll move on to our next question here. And that is, how will we know if we get an interview for primary education? So fantastic questions. This is a little bit about the application process for primary education. So for those who don't know, really quickly, we have 3 undergraduate programs here at the School of Social and Environmental Sustainability. So we have primary education with teaching qualification. We have the program that Yain is on, which is the Global Sustainable Development Program. And then we have our Environmental Science and Sustainability program as well. So for primary education, the application process is you apply on UCAS as usual. If your first stage of your application there is successful, you'll be invited to interview. Interview are in person. They're here on the campus. You get to come and visit us, have a look around, get a feel for the campus and for student life as well, and you'll do your interview here. So the way you'll know is that you'll receive an email, you'll receive a UCAS kind of update on the portal. We do something a little bit different here at our school and at our university. So we let you choose your own date and time for your primary education interview. So you'll be assigned a time and a date It's arbitrary. You'll go in and click a little link. You'll then be able to go in and see a selection of dates and times and choose your own interview yourself that suits you maybe a little bit better, to give you that choice and hopefully make your interviews accessible as possible, to come and join us. There's lots of information on that page all about the interview process itself, what you can expect, and what you need to prepare as well. So make sure any emails that come through, read them super, super carefully, really read them really carefully. All the information that you need will be in them. And of course, if you have any questions, we have our contact information in those emails and on the website as well. So you're more than welcome. Just send us a wee email. We can help you out. Any questions that you're not sure about, you just let us know. But fundamentally, keep an eye on your UCAS portal. That's where you're going to see all the information coming through. And for primary education students, you'll be able to choose your own interview date and time, which is something we're really proud of. So fantastic question. Thank you so much. When you get here for your interview, if you're lucky enough, you get an offer for an interview, you'll be greeted on campus by our student ambassadors. So when you arrive, don't panic, don't worry, just look out for student ambassadors in bright pink uniforms. You cannot miss them. I mean, I'm right, yeah, and you can't miss them, can you?
It's a perk of the job that we get to wear bright pink.
I think so. So yeah, look out for those student ambassadors. I'll probably be there as well. If not me, my colleague Heather will be there to welcome you, and make sure that you're totally at ease and you're very, very welcome here at the campus. And you have a little bit of time to relax a little bit ahead of your interview. So great question. If you have any more questions about primary education interviews, please just let us know in the comments. It's no problem whatsoever. So we'll move on to our next question here. Thank you so much. I want to do environmental science, so could you tell me more about career options, please? Fantastic question. This is a question that's on everyone's minds, I think, Yayan, that, what's the next stages after graduation? What could I go on to do? I mean, in terms of environmental science and sustainability, we've got previous graduates who are ecologists with consultancy firms, who are carbon managers at international energy companies, sustainability officers, fisheries scientists, environmental protection officers at SEPA, the Scottish Environment Protection Agency, conservation managers, consultants at national and international companies. A lot have gone on to do further research and, PhD research even, or worked in that field. We've had a few entrepreneurs as well who've gone on to build their own businesses and actually now hire some of our graduating students in their business, which is fantastic. So many opportunities. I mean, yeah, and I think there's quite a lot of, maybe a little bit of crossover between, your world and the environmental science and sustainability world. In terms of careers, I mean, any support that you've been able to tap into at your time here already? I mean, you're only second year, so there's still plenty of time. But any support available in terms of careers guidance that you could talk to us a little bit about?
Yeah, so there's a dedicated careers and employability team at the university, and sometimes they have like workshops or one-on-one appointments you can make with them if you're looking to really explore what specific things you might be interested in. I went to a LinkedIn workshop last year, and connecting with one of the careers and employability staff was valuable because they can help then link you on to all kinds of organizations they know about. There's also various short-term internship opportunities and things like that the university regularly advertise for us to take advantage of. The thing that I would say in terms of environmental science and global sustainable development, as sort of just a big picture theme, is even if you're not sure exactly what the thing you want to do yet is, there's a lot of evidence that there are more and more new jobs being created in the green sector, to do with sustainability, to do with protecting the environment. So whatever it is that you maybe specialize in your studies, as is the case with a lot of degrees, when you go and get a job, you don't necessarily, what you've studied isn't necessarily always, exactly what you're going to be working at. Part of going to university is studying something you're interested in and sort of proving that you can do that level of study. And then when you get a job, you'll often be taught the relevant skills there. So yeah, if you're concerned about whether you'll be able to get a job, I'd say don't be, because there's more and more jobs being created in this sector.
That's fantastic advice. Yeah, thank you so much, Jan. And you brought up a really good point there about internships and connections. And something I think that's really valuable about our school and about our campus is that it is smaller in nature, so that you have those kind of close connections with our lecturers, with our teaching and our research staff. So if there's something that you're really interested in, chances are we might, we'll probably have a member of staff who has a connection in that world, who has a network in that world, that we can try and put you in touch with. Or maybe that's a placement opportunity for you, or maybe it's just a voluntary opportunity that you can get involved with in the local area. You never know. But the great thing about us here is that we do get to know you, your passions, your interests, so that if we get presented with an opportunity, we can think, oh, I know, who's really interested in that, or, I know Yan's really interested in this topic, and this person would be great. So we can join them up, and, that kind of stuff happens at our school, which is really nice, I think, and quite a unique aspect, I think, of university life, being able to have those connections.
Yeah, you mentioned placement, and in both the environmental science and global sustainable development degrees, there's a option in the third year to do one of the semesters or the second semester as a placement. And like Amy said, the staff here have connections with organizations and can help link us up with whatever it might be that you're interested in. And you can sort of get some exposure into the kinds of jobs you might be doing. And if you find an organization that you get on well with, I mean, if you've already had a placement with them, then that's like a very nice stepping stone to potentially going to work there afterwards.
Yeah, no, for sure. Thank you so much, Jan. That's really good. To hear that from you. Thank you so much. We've got another question here that's come in. So we'll just look at this one, which is, what sort of events do the union organise? So we have GUDU is the union on campus here, so Glasgow University Dumfries Union. They are owned, operated, run by students for students. So I know they put on all sorts of fun events. Too many to name, I think, but over the past year, I know we've had karaoke, we've had quiz nights, we've done a tour of the Tune, I think, which was basically a guided tour around the town centre of Dumfries and kind of pointing out, good places to go or things like that. So I know they're always on the lookout for ideas, and they've got a little bit of funding as well. So if people want to get some events going, I know that there's support there for students if they wanted to do that. Same thing, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, you can set up clubs and societies as well if you want, or join clubs and societies, but you can also set them up. So I think we recently started a crafting club, or crafting society here on campus, which is really cool. And I think they've already had quite a few events, which is really nice to see. So, I mean, from your experience, it seems like they're always up to something, but is that your experience?
Yeah, they've had a couple movie nights, like pizza and movie nights, and there was it's sort of an institution here on campus, which is now sort of being, or when I say on campus, I mean here in Dumfries with the University of Glasgow. There's a annual Ceilidh event.
Yeah.
So for those not from Scotland or the UK, a Ceilidh is like a traditional Scottish dance event, and that's one that I really enjoyed last year.
That's always a really fun one. I do love the Ceilidh. It's always so nice. And we do I think we have some next week, actually, some Ceilidh taster sessions, so that you can come along and learn some of the dances beforehand if you want. I mean, you don't have to on the night, you'll just learn as you go, and it's really good fun. But I know some of our students really valued it last year. So this year, again, I believe we're doing some taster sessions. Come and try out some of the dances ahead of time and ask any questions you might have. But super fun night. So I'm really glad you mentioned that, Jan, because that was one of my favourite events for sure. Let's see, another question here. Do other programs that aren't primary teaching have to do an interview? Easy answer, nope. It's only primary education that need to do an interview. Our other programs, you're just applying through UCAS as usual, and then you'll get your either unconditional or conditional offer depending on your circumstances. So yeah, only primary education is the one where you have to do an interview as well. Okay, we'll jump into the next question. Thank you so much. Is there a gym on campus and any good running routes? Yeah, I'm throwing this one straight to you. Any good running routes? Is there a gym on campus?
Yeah, so there is a gym on campus, literally a couple minutes walk from where we have our classes, based in one of the other buildings on the larger estate where the university buildings are here in Dumfries, and it's free for students. If you come and stay in student halls in your first year, then that's right next to campus, and it's a very conveniently located gym rather than going to one of the ones that you have to pay for in town. So I used that a lot last year and still do a bit this year, even though I'm not right next to the campus. It's convenient for going like maybe after classes at the end of the day. Running routes, this is something that I think is a really big selling point for Dumfries, being not such a massive city. There's more of you're closer to more green spaces. It's not quite as compact. I'm a few minutes walk from the river and a park, and then the campus itself is really nice, just a large green space. I go running around there. Yeah.
Well, it's an 85-acre campus that we're situated on, which is fantastic. It's all parkland. It's historic parkland as well, which is fantastic. So there is a park run that happens every Saturday morning that goes right past our buildings, actually, past my window here. And that happens every week. So that's a really nice opportunity. And as Ryan says, it's like a couple of minutes walk from Dumfries Halls. So really, really handy if that's something that you're interested in or want to give it a go. In terms of the gym, as Ryan says, completely free, as well as the classes and the sports clubs and the fitness classes. They're all free for students at the University of Glasgow, so you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. It's a really handy place to just go and yeah, join in and give it a go, see if it's something you might want to do. But you mentioned halls there, Jan, and I wondered if we just talk a little minute about our accommodation options that we have in Dumfries, because we have 3 halls of residences. So we have Dumfries Halls, which is probably the biggest one and the one nearest to the campus. And then we have Brook House, which is right in the town centre. And then we have Laurie Now, which is it's still in the town centre, but just a little bit different, further away from Brook House. 3 options if you're interested. I know that you stayed in halls your first year, Jan. Could you maybe tell us a little bit more what that was like?
Yeah, so there are 3. My understanding is most often, and correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, but if you're an undergraduate, you applied to stay in halls, you're most likely going to be in Dumfries Hall, which is the one that's right next to the campus, and that's the one that I stayed in as well, being a first year last year. And yeah, so there, to tell you a bit more about that one, it's 30 rooms. Every room is en suite, but then sharing a kitchen and living area with 4 others. So there's 6 flats of 5 bedrooms in each. So yeah, you'll be sharing with 4 others, but you have your own bedroom, you have your own bathroom, and you've got your desk, you've got your wardrobe. It's quite a big, I found it very comfortable bed for, you hear kind of horror stories sometimes about university dorms and like cramped accommodation, having to share the bathroom, but these were pretty nice in my opinion. Also another key practical consideration, the kitchen cupboards, there's quite a lot of space to share, which is another crucial thing when you're moving in and you're trying to the first weekend and everyone's got stuff to put away. So yeah, I think the fact that it's so close to campus was really helpful for me in my first year. Just you're, depending on how fast you walk, like 8 to 15 minutes from the university buildings, and that's kind of a game changer as opposed to however much further it might be if you're in the town somewhere. So I can highly recommend staying in the halls in your first year if that's something you're interested in.
Amazing. Thank you so much. No, it's great to hear. And yeah, any more questions about accommodation, you're more than welcome. Just send us a wee message. We're happy to help. There's loads of information on our website as well as pictures, and you can have a little look around and see what accommodation like. And there's also a vlog from one of our student content creators of Laurie Now, when you can see a little bit of a guided tour from her on her vlog that she shared on our YouTube channel. So you can take a wee look at that as well. We have a question here that's been sent in, which is, what are the most popular majors at U of G? It's a really difficult question to answer because we have so many opportunities. We have so many options. We are here at the School of Social and Environmental Sustainability. So we have that kind of sustainability lens through our Environmental Science and Sustainability Programme and our Global Sustainable Development Programme, and that kind of social sustainability lens through our Primary Education Programme. So, I mean, 3 programmes, they're all very different. It's very much dependent on, our students and what, you're interested in, what your passions are, what is it you want to achieve. So if you have any questions about, how to narrow that down a little bit, or maybe like, how to explore these a little bit more, you're more than welcome to come and chat to us about it. That's no problem. But yeah, a good question, but a tricky one to answer because it totally depends on, what people are interested in and what people are looking to study and what their passions are. So great question. Thank you so much for sending that in. We have another question here. Let's see. Oh, what has been your favourite student event so far? So we've talked about the Kaylee. That's definitely my favourite. Is that
well, so I feel like I sort of answered that already, but I can say something else that I've enjoyed this year already was during the Welcome Week. So even though I was a returning student, we're able to take part in the Welcome Week activities. And there was a trip to a nearby wood, and we went for a walk through this wood, and then up this hill and onto this hill that has this like little copse of trees on the top. And I find being out in nature really kind of fundamentally important for me in terms of my mental health and well-being. And so being introduced to this well, it feels like ancient wood. I don't know how how long it's been there, but the sort of dense and diverse sort of feel to the wood just is really nice. Anyways, I've been able to cycle out there to revisit it another time this semester. So just nice that we can, being a smaller school, we can have events like that where we can have a bus that takes anyone who wants to out to like a wood like that, and that's something that's feasible.
No, that's really
good. And we have something very close. We have places like that we can go to on field trips or for student events.
Yeah. I mean, that's why we're here. That's why we're here in Dumfries. It's the perfect location, not just to study this kind of topic, but for those interested in these kind of, topics and subjects. You're surrounded by the natural world. It's fantastic. So, really good point. And you reminded me there's an event coming up. I think it's next week as part of the Refreshers event that we're having here on campus. And we're with a Dark Sky Ranger, which is a really cool job title. I love that so much. I think there's an event going on with the Dark Sky Ranger who's going to talk to us all about, because we have a dark sky forest in Dumfries and Galloway, with no light pollution. We're going off to a nearby historical site, I believe, and then we're going to learn all about the stars and what we can see, and that sounds really cool. And that's literally 5 minutes from our campus, that we're able to do something like that. And we've also got the Therapets, the therapy dogs coming in next week, which are that's the best day. It's my favorite day, is when the dogs come and visit, because you get to play with them and meet them all, and they're so nice and so friendly. And I think they're my favorite events that are coming up. I mean, we had them last year too, but they're coming up next week, and I am so excited. But great question. Thank you so much, everyone. I think we've got time for just one more, and this is a really great question. I'm sure something a lot of people are wondering. How did you know your program was right for you? I'm not sure how to decide. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat here. It's a really big, decision to choose where it is you want to go and study. From your perspective, Yain, I mean, how did you make that decision, or anything you can share would be great.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess if you're watching this, you're probably considering one of the 3 undergraduate programs that we have here among your considerations. For primary education, I think, that's something pretty specific that if you're interested in, you kind of know maybe you're interested in that. If you're considering between environmental science and global sustainable development, and you're wondering maybe whether this university is the right fit for you or which of those to go for, that's something I feel I can speak to. If you think about why it is you're interested in, the sustainability, for instance, because I knew that's what I wanted to study. I wanted to study sustainable development. If you look at the different courses at the different universities that offer this, you can kind of get a sense through the materials they have and maybe the titles of the modules that you'll have to take and things like that as to sort of what the focus is on. Such a broad area. There's different ways that they can sort of deliver something that has roughly the same degree title. And what I really sensed was that here there was a focus on sustainability in spirit, not just in name. Some universities might offer a course of this type within their like politics department, or they're really focused on the development angle. But I believe that we need to have like a really, really strong focus on the sustainability part and what that really means. So that's part of why I really wanted to come here to study sustainable development. In terms of between, if you were considering whether to study environmental science and sustainability or global sustainable development here, you knew you wanted to do maybe one of those. Something I can say is that I think it's possible for you to apply for one of those, come here to study that, and if in the first year or even the first couple years you decide you want to switch to the other one, because it's possible to take the core classes for both of them if you choose your electives right, then it would be possible for you to switch between those in your first year or two. Is that right, Amy?
It's something we take on a very kind of individual basis for sure. So it's definitely not it's definitely not like a guarantee that you can do it, but it's certainly something that if it's, causing you worry or something that you're really, just not sure about, like absolutely talk to us. We're here. You've got your advisor of studies, who's your kind of academic advisor. And then we also have our student support team. And then we also have our student and academic operations team. All of them are here to help with that kind of decision and that kind of process. So certainly it's not off the table. You know what I mean? It's certainly an option, but it's something that we take very much on an individual basis. Yeah. But a really good point. Yeah. Thank you, Ian.
I forget what the original question was. Did I sort of answer some of it?
For sure. No, absolutely no. So we're talking about how you make your decision. Basically, it's such a big decision, and what are the factors that you might want to consider. I mean, for me, if I could offer any advice, it'd be if you can, like, come and visit, or visit the campuses, visit the institutions, come and talk to our lecturers, the teaching staff, get a feel for who you'll be learning from. All of our programs are 4 years. So it's, it's really important that you come somewhere that you feel comfortable, that you're ready to learn and passionate about the subject area as well. So my big advice would be, if you can, try and visit, as much as possible. I mean, for our campus, for our school, we will do as many, online opportunities as well, because we know it's not always possible to travel to the campus for various reasons. So we'll do our very best to showcase our campus and our school online, so at least as many people as possible, no matter where you are in the world, can find out a little bit more about us. But as I say, that would be my top tip, is just try and get a feel for, who you're learning from, what matters to them, and what subjects are important at the place that you're learning. And you made a really beautiful point, Jan, about, the ethos of the school, and that was kind of important to you, and not just walking the walk, not just talking the talk. We're actually, undertaking research and undertaking activities that speak to our ethos and our ultimate goal of, the Sustainable Development Goals. So I think that's a really important point as well, and I really thank you very much for sharing that. I really appreciate it, and I'm so sorry that's all we have time for today. I'm so grateful for everyone who's joined, and thank you all for your questions. It's so great to chat with you all. It's no problem if you've not been able to send in your question. You can get in touch with us. All of our information is on our website. So, I really hope you found today useful. The recording will be available here on YouTube. So if you want to watch, anything back, you're more than welcome to. Again, thank you so much, Yayan, for your time today. Thank you to everyone who joined us, sent in their questions. As I say, to find out more about studying at the University of Glasgow and our Dumfries campus, you can visit our YouTube channel to view programme overview and student videos, or our website, www.glasgow.ac.uk/Dumfries. So thank you once again so much for joining us. We really hope to welcome you to campus very soon, and we'll say bye for now. Bye, everyone.